Heather here. I am going to do the live today. I'm just going to hold on for a little bit until we get some eyeballs on here. Maybe I'll just pop it up onto my iPad. Open the comments. I'm here. There we go. Okay, just waiting for some eyeballs. Hope everybody's having a good day. We're gonna make an interactive element today for my art journal. Hi, Sandra. Oh, I see some numbers growing now. So I love to make things that move in my scrapbooking. So I started out doing lots of scrapbooking, and I have lots of interactive elements. Hi, Nans. And so I thought it would be fun to try this in my art journal. Hi, Anja. Hi, Klasky. Okay, I see we got some eyeballs growing now. I'll just flip things around and we'll kind of get started. I'll show you what I am thinking of doing. Make sure I can find the right button on here. Where is it? Whoops. There it is. Okay, see if we can get zoomed in here. Close, but not too close so that you can actually see. Oh, I see some hearts going on there. Okay, I might need to shift it just a little bit because I tend to work very close to myself. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I got a whole pile of stuff sitting here and some children upstairs making lots of noise. So hopefully you're not picking that up. Oh, hi, Karen. Hi, Anne. Okay, so I pulled out a bunch of stuff from the new collection, the Mr. and Mrs. collection from David. So kind of the main thing I'm using from the Laced Up is this frame, and then the insert for the frame. And then I'm using from the Doilies Galore, I'm using the page. I'm using this little paper clippy piece, and I'm using the belly band. So I'm just going to set those aside. And pull my sleeves up there. So this is what I'm going to make. So this is just my figuring out thing, and it's not working that great. It's a bit flimsy, but that's what we're going to make. Isn't that neat? So I saw a little video, a reel or something on Facebook, and it reminded me I've done this before in a scrapbook layout, and it's pretty cool because you can have like hidden things in there. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So to do this, you need a bit of plastic, right? That's how we're going to make our mechanism. I'm just going to set everything up here out of the way. I'm going to grab the main pieces that I need. And that's all of these. Okay, so I showed you this is the mechanism. So this piece is going to go on top, and then on top of that, I'm going to put a photo. See? So instead of plain white, I've pulled out some paper. So I have my base page is cut with David's new Backgrounds 1 set. And then this paper is from, I'm just going to grab it. Of course, I've forgotten already. The Petal Pink by Esther. So I pulled those out. I just thought they looked really nice together with the pink and the blue. And then I'm just going to start by corner rounding my pages. So I've already done one. And so because I thought that it looked nicer, partly because I needed to have a decent sized piece to put my mechanism behind. Initially I had it much smaller, but then I realized that I couldn't really attach it because I needed this piece on the sides. So you'll see as we move along what I mean by that. Let's see, I see hi Rebecca, hi Jessica, Anita, lots of people joining on now. Hi Petra. Yeah, so anyway, so that's why I ended up making it bigger, was because I needed that. I cut the corner of that one, but it'll go behind, so we'll just have to make sure that I remember and put this one behind. Hi Katie. Okay, so I got those pieces ready. And then, like I said, I used this inset piece. So that's going to go inside or like behind. And then I'm just going to ink these up. I'm going to put a little bit of ink distressing on them. Like I said, I just got to remember that this is the top and that I don't mix it up. I really wish that the comments wouldn't disappear so quickly. So I did a lot of prep work, so hopefully this will go fairly easily. And we'll get a lot done because I have lots of little things to show you. This one, I probably don't need to, but I'm going to anyway, just in case I don't get it lined up perfectly. Then at least what you're going to see underneath is going to look the same as what's above. Okay, so that's that. And then I have to remember how I did this. So I'm going to, I think, grab this mat, because I did jot down on here. So this is this first piece, and then there's a second piece, and then this is what I have to cut. So that's my top. So I just noted down some measurements, and I need my ruler. I'll take my knife. Probably do it with scissors, but so I need to go in. I ended up doing 6/8 from the edge. I could just get that lined up. I think I'll mark it with a pencil first. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. 16. So I even like wrote it down wrong. Because that's 2, 4, 8, and it's definitely not that, so it's 6/8. So it was there. I measured with a different. I didn't measure it with this one. It was easier with this one. Sorry, getting all mixed up here. Yep, that's right. So it was to there. A little bit off there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I was down 3/8. So we'll go like this, and 1, 2, 3 of those squares, and then I can just draw my line. Just need to find my little marks there. There. So then what I'm just going to do with that is I'm just going to cut that. I'm not going to bother with my knife. You're not going to see this piece. It's just in behind for your mechanism. So it doesn't have to be perfect. There, and then I just need to do the same with the other side. So this time I'm just going to go, there's my 3. And then I'm going to go 1, here, I'm going to do it with my knife, and then I can just cut it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And give that a snip. There we go. So there's the mechanism piece that I need. Get this stuff out of the way. I got all my tools sitting here ready to go, so hopefully I don't forget anything. Okay, and then in order to make this work, like I said, you need some plastic. So see, there's a little strip of plastic here. So I have this just packaging from just some stickers or something. And so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to cut a strip, and I want that to be a little bit smaller than my little cut here, right? So I want it to be a little bit smaller than that. So that opening is just under 2 inches, so I want to go 1 3/4. So let's see how easily I can cut some plastic straight. So key, if you have a ruler with some cork backing, it makes it much easier. I'm going to line up with my line on there, and then what I said, 1 3/4. So 1 3/4. Double check that's going to fit inside there. Yes. Okay, and I'm just going to go. So this is, oh, I just realized I didn't cut that end off, but that's okay. it's long enough. I guess I should check it first. Yes, it's long enough. It needs to wrap around that opening. So, I mean, really, I guess I should have measured it. These scissors are very dull. I'll use these. So then I need to cut it in half now. Oh, I'll cut the bottom open. If I can grab it. Oh my, having a hard time with that. Okay, let's go like this. These scissors are much sharper. So I just want a single piece. So if I'd cut the end first, it probably would have been a little bit easier. Come on, get in there. See those comments disappearing. We've got lots of new folks jumping on there. Oh. Hey, Jane. Hi, Anja. Oh, thanks, Anja. Yes, that is a pretty pink color. Anja was noticing. Okay, so I've got lots of space on here for this, and so that's just going to slide like this. So the reason you want the plastic is because it will slide smoothly along your paper. So I don't want to have too much. So I'm just going to cut that little bottom piece off there because there's a bit of a flap there. Where'd it go? It's hard working with the packaging, it disappears. Okay, let's move this out of the way now. I don't think I need it again. And I'm just going to use some double-sided tape, I think. I think that is going to be my best bet. It will hold, should hold nicely. Now I'm just trying to remember when I did it on my sample, because I don't want a lot of extra flopping around, if you know what I mean, because then it will get caught on your edges. So you want to make sure that it's very close to the edge, your tape. So I'm going to go like this, get that nice and close to the edge. It's moving on me. Give that a snip. Cut a bit of plastic off. Okay. Push that down really good and make sure it's stuck down there. Because it's plastic, obviously the adhesive will come off again easily if I really tried to take it off. But I'm not going to try. Just looking at that piece, there's a bit of a... Something happened when I cut this one. So I want to just get rid of that edge. Oh, scissors do not cut plastic. I'm probably going to end up trimming most of that off anyway. Okay, so that's my adhesive is on the top. Wrap this around. Now you don't want to pull it too tight and then bow your paper, which I think I actually did on my sample. And set that down there. Push it down. I've got a little bit extra, so I ended up a bit thinner. So I just need to trim that off. Oh, it's very hard to see it. And the other side, I think, has a bit of adhesive sticking out too. It's stuck to my finger now. It won't come off. There we go. Yeah, I don't want that sticking out and getting stuck on anything, so just trim that off. Okay, so there's my mechanism, and this plastic is going to go like this. I need to cut off that end piece. I don't know how well you guys can see this. It's really hard for me to see it in person here, so hopefully you can see the plastic. Okay, so I'm just going to chop this off right close to where it's adhered. So now I just have a continuous loop here, right? So it gets a little bit hung up on that. Okay. So then, let me just look and see, because I think I've stuck my pieces down, because one needs to go. So the way this is going to work, so I'm going to show you, I've got two. So I'm going to double these up just to make sure that it is strong enough, right? I don't want these to be too floppy. So this is just regular cardstock. It's not really, really heavy cardstock. So I will just go ahead and attach these together. And I'm going to do some stamping on here before I assemble things as well. Little bits of plastic everywhere now. There. So put that together, and then same on here. Attach the photo just to the cardstock. And then I just have that extra strength holding it together. I'm a little bit off on the bottom, but it doesn't really matter, although I think I'm off on the side here. The bottom piece of the photo, because the photo is going to go on the top, so you won't see that because that's going to be attached. Okay, so let's do some decorating first. I pulled out some Lisa Horton dye-based metallic ink. So I just got these. I think they were just released not that long ago. So this is the bronze color. It's lovely. So I picked that up. So I'm just gonna go very easy on here and ink the edge of this photo. Just add a little bit of like antique-y bit to it. I think this photo probably had a bit of that on the exterior before I trimmed it down. And then we'll do it on here too. And then I might stamp with it. Yes, I think I will. I do have my heat tool because it's a pigment, so it might take a minute to dry. Put that in there. So I'm just going to make sure I don't want to get it all over, which I'm really good at getting it all over my fingers. And then transferring it to everything. I'm not going to worry about the photo because I don't want to wrinkle it. So just a little bit of heat on that. There we go, and I dropped the hook for my heat tool so I could put it away. There we go. Okay, so I pulled out these two stamps, in Full Bloom and the rose one, and we're going to use both of those on this. So I'm going to start with this one. So I need to get a little bit of scrap paper, which I had and covered it up there. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's get this onto a block. No, bigger one. Okay, put this on here. Okay, so I'm just gonna stamp the flower. I'm just gonna go like something like that, I think. So let's do this. Sorry, was I off the table? I'm terrible at pulling everything right close to me. Lots of ink on there. And then right there. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at the metallics on that. Okay, so now I just want to get that clean though. So to get this off, I'm going to use StazOn. I find it works the best when you're using inks like this. Give that a quick clean. I don't like to put my scrubber over my table because I don't want it flinging bits everywhere, so I'll just set that up here out of the way. Okay, so that's there, and I think I better just give that a quick shot because, yeah, I think there's a little bit of ink coming off of that. I don't know if it needs long, it'll be fine. Okay. So those are the two pieces that we're gonna put in there. I better put this out of the way so I don't make a mess. looking to see if there's any questions. Don't see any. Okay. So now, make sure that I haven't forgotten to do anything before I start to assemble this. I don't think so. I gotta put a pull tab on there, but I'm gonna do that after. Doesn't matter which direction this goes. So what I want to do is line that up like that. Yes, we'll put that picture on the top. Let's see, just another little piece of plastic there. So definitely, if you're trying this, try and do a better job of cutting your plastic. Okay, so again, I'm going to use double-sided adhesive. I think that the strength of it hopefully will work better to hold things. Just make sure that it's stuck down really well. And then what I'm doing is making sure that I'm lined up, so centered as much as I can and nice and even with the top. And then push that down, flip it over, and then I'm going to do the same with this one, but this time the adhesive actually goes on the front. So you want to be up as close as you can to the top, because then that's going to allow you to see as much possible of the card. So then again, I'm lining this up. I want to make sure I'm centered. You want them to be even. Must have been off a little bit when I made the cut. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so now I have the mechanism. It's a little bit flimsy, so here, there. So it doesn't, anyway, you need to get it put together for it to work properly, right? Sorry, just need to stop. Okay. So now I think what I'm going to do before I actually assemble it is I cut out this little guy. So this one is actually from a different set. This is from Playful Grunge, so it's this little piece here, and I'm going to stamp on it. So I grabbed the stamp set from the Journal Romance kit, and it's got this lovely little pull here thing because it came with a, what was it, a waterfall mechanism. Okay, so but I'm only going to put the word pull because I don't have a lot of room. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I do when I don't want to stamp a whole thing. Put the rose on the card. I just, oh, Barbara. Yes, that's a lovely stamp, isn't it? And I was playing around with what to put on this little piece here. And then when I grabbed this, I thought, oh, I could, yeah. Anyway, I just played with it. I thought that's a really good idea. Like I could have used like something like this too. But I just thought that was pretty neat. So, okay, so my trick here, it's a little bit finicky, but when you really want to do something like this, it's worth it. Okay, so can you see? I'm going to show you here. So because these little pieces of the H go so close up to the word pull, I don't want, like I want to ink just that, but they're really, really tight together. So I'm just taking a piece of Scotch tape, and I might need to trim it, but I think I'm okay. I don't think, so I don't know, there's definitely a little piece of the H showing, I think. No, I think I got it. I'm just going to tuck it down with my nail there to make sure. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp it also. Well, I'm going to ink it and then pull that tape off. So I should have made it longer because it's easier to grab it when it's like off of the edge. And then I want this to be really close to the bottom, which is now hard to see. But I think once I take the tape off, I'll be able to see it better. So now I'm going to get ink on that tape, but it's not going to go onto that word. So now I can put this on here. I'm going to have to stick my head in here just so I can see it nicely. So now I just got the word pull on there and not the here. Oops, it's stuck. And now I gotta get rid of this before I get ink on something else. So that's just a little tip if you have a stamp. Like I've done it lots with more detailed stamps. You can cut the tape. You can, like if you just want a word that's in the middle of something, you can tape all the way around it. But if you can make your piece of Scotch tape a little bit bigger to go off the edge of your block, it makes it a lot easier to pull it off, because depending on what ink you're using, if it dries too fast. And just give that a quick scrub. Set it out of the way. And set this out of the way. Okay, and then I'm going to ink the edge of this one too. If I can pick it up. There we go. Lots of hearts. Yeah, I hope you like that. I hope that's something that you'll try out, but it's a really great tip when you have stamps that you just want to use a portion of it. It just makes your stamps so much more versatile too, right? Like you can just use them for so many things that you might not have thought of. Okay, I don't know. I feel like that dries actually pretty good. Okay, so again, I'm going to use my double-sided adhesive, if I can find it. There it is, way over here. Okay, so right at the top. And then I need to make sure this is going to fit on the page, because, oh, that ripped a bit of the paper. That's okay. Right, because this is quite large. This is the Passport XL size, right? So let's just set these out of the way. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll do this right now. Okay, so I'm going to score this right now, just so that I can get my scoreboard out of the way, and then we know how big our paper is. Right, so these, the XL Passport cuts your page to, I can't see, 8 1/4, right? Yeah, 8 1/4. So this is the one that I want to use, so I need to flip it over. I want to score it on this side. So I'm going to go 4 1/8. Right there. And then that gives me a valley on this side and a mountain on this side. And you always want to fold with your mountain on the inside. It does not seem like it should be that way, but it works way better than folding it the other way. Now, a lot of times I end up folding both ways because I want to ink the edges. So, but for your first score, you should do it that way first. Okay, so now I know how big that page is. So there. So see, it fits there really nicely. And I just want to make sure that this, you can see the pull, and it's going to hang out a little bit probably, which is okay. But I'm going to put it nice and tight there. So I'm going to pull this out a little bit, just so it's easier. Backing off, and then line that up. There we go. So I might still be getting some metallic on me. Push that back in. There we go. Pretty cool. Okay, so then this is our cover piece, right? So that we're not going to see any of that. We're just going to see this. So I definitely want to ink this edge. Do I? I've already inked it with the one. Let's play with this a little bit first. So I'm going to ink this up. Let's put some ink on the photo so that it matches the other one, because it definitely needs more time to dry on the photo because of the like shiny surface. It's not glossy, but still, it's still a bit glossy. Definitely not like cardstock. Okay, so we'll let that one dry a little bit. And then we're going to take my brush and we're just going to get the edges here. And then I have to decide, because I think I might I think I was going to stencil on the cover piece. I'm gonna stencil on a few pieces. How's my time? Oh, I gotta get moving. That was the hard part though. Okay, so then maybe what I'll do is I'll just leave it like that, like that. Yeah, and then I'll just leave it and I'll stencil on something else. Okay, so let's attach these together. Oops. I love cutting my photos with dies, especially when there's like a nested type of die. Okay, stick that down. And then I'm going to use some foam tape. I've got some thin foam tape, but I'm not using it unless anywhere that I don't have to. So just because I don't want too much thickness on this page. Okay, there. Oh, did that move? No, I think I'm okay. Okay, so then this is where we're going to put some foam tape. So now in order to make sure that there's enough space for this, I found that it was too tight here. So again, it needs to be assembled to work properly. Anyway, I feel like it needs a little bit of dimension because you've got quite a thickness in here, right? And you want that to move freely. So I just took, this is some thin tape, and I'm just gonna cut it in half. So I'm gonna go like that, measure it, and then I'm just gonna cut it down the middle. If I can make my fingers work. There we go. Oops, so just go like that. These scissors are great. I got them not too long ago. They're Fiskars non-stick. They're great. Okay, so just get that down on there. Oops. Don't want it to touch the photo. Oops, do I need to trim that? No, I think it's okay. Okay, and then I can attach this together. Okay, so now I just got to line that up nicely. Let's line it up on this side. Here, sorry. Go like that. There we go. Okay, good. There. Okay, so that's now going to let this work much better. And of course, I say that and then it gets stuck. So again, I think it's just getting stuck because it's not down, right? See? Cool. But again, so see, it's getting stuck. First of all, it's getting stuck on the tape. Ugh. But it should, once we have it assembled, it should be fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna get this page ready. Maybe I should have done a little bit more prep. I was, sometimes I tend to do too much prep and then I don't have anything to show you. But you definitely don't need to see me doing this. But it won't take me long to get that done. And then we're going to have some fun on the other page too. Okay, and then like I said, I always like to ink that anyway. Even though I fold the other way, but it's okay because I folded it the other way first. There. Okay, and then this is just going to touch down here. Now what I need to figure out is, should I put any foam tape on there? No, see it's just getting stuck on that little piece of tape, but it is working. And I don't think I need foam tape. I think I'm going to put it on just in case because it, like I said, it is getting hung up on that seam. So let's just put it on just to be safe. I don't want to stick it down and then find out it needed it. Might as well just put it on. It's fairly thin, so it's not going to be too thick in the journal. It's much better to have that there. Okay. And then I want it centered. Oops, I want a little bit of space at the top. It's okay that that's going to hang over. So there. Okay, let's see. There we go. Look at that. Is that cool? So I might stick a little word stamp there or something. That's fun. I like that. I think that turned out great. And of course I missed all of the comments again. Debbie's going to give it a try. I hope you do, Debbie. Okay, so then for the other page, so like I said at the beginning, these pieces are from, I'm going to find it now, the Doily Galore. So Doily Galore, I cut the belly band out and I cut this little bookmark clip piece. And then I also have these cut aparts. So these are from that same paper pack that I mentioned earlier that the pink is from. It is from Petal Pink. Okay, so what do we start with? I'm going to make a belly band. So we'll just set those up there. So I thought I would try something a bit different because this is going to be part of a belly band. I wanted to make sure it was stuck down. So I cut this little tab. So this is from the Journal Romance Special Kit. This little tab here. And I've just attached it to the end of my lace. So I've cut another one. I've backed it with the double-sided tape. And I'm going to add it on there. Then it's paper stuck down to paper. So I'm thinking that will secure it better. I don't have a lot of experience with lace and sticking it down, so I'm sure I could stick it down with glue. I thought about just putting some double-sided adhesive across the bottom, but then I thought, oh, this is kind of a neat idea, so I thought I would try that. So I just need to trim this. So it was really hard to get a nice straight line. So this is what I ended up doing finally for the other side, was just using my page as a guide. It wasn't perfect, but I must have cut it 3 times and every time it was crooked. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull this. Thanks, Barbara. It's cool, the thin foam tape. Yes, it's always nice to have thin foam tape in your stash if you can get it. I don't even know where mine came from. I know that Close to My Heart used to have it, but they're gone. But I think most of your stores have, like a lot of stores carry lots of different kinds now. So you should be able to find some. Okay, and then I just decided to trim that like that. Doily Galore sounds like a James Bond movie, right? It does. That's funny. Maybe that's what David was thinking when he was naming it. Okay, get that little piece out of there. Come on. Little piece stuck there. I'd use my pointy scissors, but they're dull. They won't cut it. I tried. Okay, so, and the reason I used the same paper was because I just kind of wanted that to just blend in. I don't know, maybe it would have been nice to have it as an accent, but I want this to stand out more, right? So that's going to go on top, and then that's going to be my belly band. So I think I'm going to go ahead and attach this down. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to cut that little tab off. Since I'm attaching it to something, I don't actually need that little piece there. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and get some good bit of adhesive there, but I'm also going to put a little bit on the rest of it. I don't know how important that is, and it's how great it's going to stick to the lace. I don't know, but I'll put a little bit on there just in case. put some random bits on, pull that off of there because I don't want it to stick to my paper. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, I didn't ink it. Oops, I definitely want to ink it. Hang on, let's fix that. This is not the first time I've made that mistake. So there, get that glue off of there. And let's get another piece of paper. Okay, so let's do that again. So I want to ink it. So again, just using my brush for this one so that I can pick up those edges. It's still a little bit sticky. There we go. How's that look? There. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay. Get some adhesive on there. There. Oops. Put there. Now it's all lumpy from all the adhesive that I tried. Okay. That's good enough. Like I said, I'm not, as long as it's stuck down on the paper, that's what matters. There we go. I don't know if any of those things are going to pick it up, but we'll see. I wonder if oh, I bet you my comments are frozen. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can fix that. See if that works. Okay, so that's now, it looks like it's kind of stuck. See, it's kind of stuck. That's good. Okay, so now I'm going to put this, I'm going to use my liquid adhesive. I'm going to stick that down and then we'll decorate these cards. Okay, so I want it off to the side. I don't want it, come on. I don't want it in the middle. I want it off to the side. Stick those down, come on, stick. There, now I think my comments are working again. Oh, is anybody commenting so I can see if there's if they're working? I don't think they're working again. Sorry, folks. I don't know. Facebook just is a little bit frustrating sometimes. Okay, so let's see if I can get this wrapped up. I'm going to show you what I did here. So you can see I cut out this little flap. So I thought, oh, these would be really cool to use as tabs, but then they cover up the pretty picture. So I didn't like that. Then I actually considered like folding it over, but anyway, that wasn't working either. So I ended up just trimming off the centerpiece and I'm going to stick them down like that. So then that becomes the tab and it's just got some decoration on the back. So all I did, my tiny little dull scissors out here, was I went like this. So it's much easier to come in from the back. And I just followed those openings. It's not like perfect, but it looks okay. There, see? Okay, so I'm also going to, since these are plain on the back, I'm going to ink the back of them. Let's grab a couple of things here. So I'm going to use this stencil. This is from the Mr. and Mrs. collection. And I got this sticky mat recently, and I'm going to give it a try. So let's see if this works. So we're going to put this down in the middle. That holds that. And then this, I wanted to line up the pattern. So it's got this down the middle. So where is my middle? I'm not too picky. Oh, I'm sticking in the wrong places there. Okay, so let's see. That will stick down there. I'm going to make a good old mess of this stencil now because I'm going to use this metallic ink again. Oh, look at that. I'm like, my video's frozen now. Sorry. let me just quickly close Facebook on here. And I'm just gonna like pounce this on here, and it's going to, silly, sorry. It's going to make a very pretty pattern. There we go. Can we work now? Okay, I think I got my comments back. I see Michelle is saying love the colors. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, I think they go together very well. So just pouncing that on there. Mostly just because I don't want to mess up a brush. Because these I can just throw away. Right? So I don't need to worry about getting pigment ink on a brush. Okay, well this sticky mat is working pretty good. Let's have a look. Woo! Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. Love this stencil. Okay, so I'm just going to do one right now just in case I run out of time because there's not a lot of time. Now I got to get this off of here. There we go. Upside down, but that doesn't matter. Let's maybe just hit this real quick with the heat tool just to make sure. I will I think I'll round the corners because everything else has rounded corners, so I should round the corners on this. Yeah, that'll look fine. That will look much better with rounded corners. I'm gonna ink distress the edges. So I need to decide if I'm going to do it with just the brown or the actual metallic. I think it might be nice with the metallic. What do you think? Should I do metallic? I'm going to put a little bit of paper and just ink this one up with the brown. There should be a little button that says that the comments to make them stay. Okay, so should I edge distress with the metallic or with this light brown color? What do you think is going to look better? I have to double side these too, so whoops. I really only need to ink the very top of this side. What do we got? Okay, so another little trick, I've shown this before. I'm just going to take my bone folder here because this is the front of the die. The back of the die is actually going to be exposed. So I want to just rub down those edges, and it makes it way easier to ink the back side as well. I did one of them already. I think I did that one already, but I don't know. Just do them all anyway. Okay. I'm not seeing any comments about what color ink I should use, so hopefully the comments are working. Oh, I see. Sylvia says metallic. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the metallic. Valerie says the ink. Whoops. Anki says metallic. Whoops. Flip that over. Metallic. It's looking like metallic might be the winner. I feel like these are getting inked very well. Looks like metallic is the winner. So let's give it a try and see what it looks like with the metallic. Okay. So that's done. Let's see. Oh, it looks pretty with the metallic. Could have even done both. Done the brown a little heavy and then done the metallic around the outside only. Oh well. There we go. Oh, do this side too. So I could like add a photo on the back of these if I wanted to. Even with the pattern, it would be nice. Okay, set that one down. Okay, so my plan, let me see, because I kind of thought they're going to go in this order. So this piece is going to go on here, like at the top, and then I'm going to layer them like middle and bottom, almost like little file folder things. So, okay, let's get some glue on here. And I want it to be like in the middle of this little rosette thing. So I think about there. Let's try that. Okay. And then I want to go near the top. Go like that. Make sure I'm straight on the back. A little bit there. Oh, the metallic's really shining on that. See, and then that will go in here. And this is kind of why I moved this over to the side a bit, was so that there would be room for these little tabs. So I've still got a few minutes, so let's just quickly finish these up. Get the corner rounders on. Oh, teenagers are so much fun. I told them both they're on a PA day, and I told them that they needed to leave me alone for an hour. It doesn't seem like that's working too well. Oh well, he can figure out his own problems. Okay, so let's go back here again. I'm going to use this just to push this down. Oh, ooh, it really sticks paper down, doesn't it? Okay, gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you, Nans. Valerie, yeah, the photo is, yeah, it is nice, but yes, it would definitely cover up the pretty stencil. And yeah, the stencil is very pretty. So it is kind of a shame to cover it up, right? But you could put a tiny little photo on that wouldn't cover it all up. And then that would be better. Then you could see both. But yeah, I thought this really looks good, this stencil on here. Ooh. Almost done. It's kind of popping up. It's not sticking out great to my sticky mat now. There we go. Okay, so that's another one. Oh, looks so pretty. So pretty. Oop, put that there. One more. Oh. I just stuck my sticky mat in the ink. Oh well. Okay, another one. In the middle, I think so. I think I'm close enough. Thank you, Robin. It's hard not to make pretty things with these products, I tell you. They sure do make it easy to make pretty things. The sticky mat's supposed to hold the stencil so I don't have to get cramps in my fingers. I'm gonna probably have to get a wet wipe out so I don't make a mess, because my hands are gonna be, my fingers are gonna be all inky now. This ink is really cool too. If you don't have any of it, you should definitely check it out. And I'm pretty sure, like, if you put it on black, it shows up really well too. Okay. Still gonna need that for the edging. Let's clean up my fingers. So I'm going to use the Stays On this too, just in case you were wondering how to get that clean again. I got a paper towel here. Oh, what was that? What would happen if you put the tag on and then stenciled over the back? That's kind of a neat idea. I didn't, ooh, I'm stuck. I didn't ever thought of that. You can see this there. That works really well too. I use it for something else. And I never thought of using the StazOn ink to clean it off, and it just doesn't clean off with soap and water. So one of my stencils from one of the collections is really messed up. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't affect it in any way. It's just ink, right? But it just didn't come clean. I wonder if maybe if I put the StazOn, it would still clean it now. It might. See, look at that. Pretty good, eh? Get some on my fingers. I will clean my fingers probably. Just need to grab a wet wipe out of my drawer here. Let's see if I just don't want to get that ink on everything now. I'll have to clean my sticky mat. There, how's that? Okay. A couple more minutes and we are done. Ink those edges. Boy, when you tell your teenagers to be quiet, they sure don't do a very good job. I don't have a door. I'm not in a room, so I'm just in my basement. And they are upstairs being loud. So you probably can't hear them, but it sure seems like you probably can. Gel hand sanitizer. Oh, good idea. Tray of water or alcohol spray. Good ideas. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna say, but looks like I've done these. It's just because I'm with the sponge, it really shows up on both sides, kind of when you're doing this. Okay. Oh, that one got a little bit of something on it. Oh, shoot. A little bit of the cleaner, I think, got on it. Let's see if I can dry it off without making a big mess. Okay, well, hopefully that stops it from making it worse anyway. I don't know if you can see that, but I got a little bit on there, so it's kind of making that ink bleed. Anyway, okay. So I don't mix this up. Let's do these in the right order. So that was 1, this is 2. So get some liquid glue on here. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna go like this. Hopefully I'm not too close to myself. You can see me, right? Yeah. Make that a little bit straight. Yeah, that might have been cool if we'd done the stencil over top. Oh well. Too late. I could always go back probably and match it up and do it though. My hair's getting in my way. Okay, last one. Oh, that one should have moved up a little bit. Ah, well, not perfect. Whatever, can't always be perfect, right? I'm sure that that's not moving now. Nope. Oh well. I thought about it before. I should have put the bottom one on first and then just put the middle in the middle. But oh well. There we go. I mean, I wasn't really thinking they'd be like perfectly lined up there anyway. But there. Okay. So XL journal. Oops. Just gotta get over that little tab. Slide that in, get those guys back there. There we go. So that could actually be a bit tighter to hold those. They might fall out. So there we go. And we have like a secret hidden surprise. I think that's so cool. I haven't done one of those for a long time. I love that. I might have to do a little bit more of that. Okay, folks, look at that. 3 o'clock on the dot, and we are all done. Thanks so much for joining in. I'll hopefully see you all soon. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.